A concept that has gained currency for some time now is the idea of working from home. WFH. For a few years now, people have been working from home, but the idea has not been so pronounced as we have it now during the coronavirus pandemic, because people have discovered that they could do the work that they do normally in the office setup at their homes. So people naturally take to performing their tasks without having to be bothered about backlogs of papers to be attended to or work to be done when eventually the lockdown is lifted all over the world. Now, what do we mean by WFH, working from home? Just like the term says, it means to do your work at home. That is, instead of troubling yourself, going to the office, commuting to the office, using public transport or your own personal vehicle or what have you, to get to your place of work, which perhaps may be far away, you can as well do the work that you have to do in the office at home, if the circumstances permit. For instance, if you have the equipment, the tools with which you do the work at home, then it makes no sense really commuting to the office, which would have cost you a lot in terms of the stress, the physical cost in terms of amount spent maybe on your vehicle or on taking public transport to the office. And at the same time, it will save you a lot of time wasted on the road commuting to the office. A typical city like Lagos, that is bustling and very busy, takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of commuter time, so that by the time people get to their places of work, they would have spent 2 hours in traffic or 3 hours thereabouts. On worst days, they may spend like 5 hours on the road commuting to the office. Talk of somebody who stays at Mushin, for instance, and his office is on Victoria Island. On a busy day like a Monday or Friday, before you get to work, you have to sweat, except you wake up very early in the morning, around 3:30 or 4 a.m. You wash, get dressed, and then you go to work as early enough as 5 a.m. in the morning. Between the hours of 5 a.m. in the morning and 6, there will be no traffic, little or no traffic, so to say. But anything from 6 o'clock, 6:30, traffic in the city of Lagos is hell. I believe you agree with me. And then coming back from office in the evening, assuming you leave office around 4, 5 p.m. thereabouts, before you get to your house, takes a lot of time. For instance, if you leave office around 4 p.m. in the evening, you can expect to get to your house around 7, 8 p.m. in the evening. That's a difference of 4 hours. And in the worst case scenario, you can get home 9. On days that rain falls, The roads have become so bad that everybody is battered. People get home as late as 12 a.m., 11 p.m., and I believe that is rather bad. I believe you agree with me that that is bad. What is bad. But you can avail yourself the opportunity. If you have the tools, for instance, you have your computers, your personal computer, your phone, means of communication at home, all the things that you need to do your work, they are freely available to you, and you can communicate with your colleagues wherever they may be, within Nigeria or around the world. Then you can as well do your work at home. During this period of the coronavirus pandemic, I have been working at home. Okay? In the first 2 weeks of the pandemic, I was confused. I must confess that to you. Coupled with the bad news flying all over the place on the news media, and those that were received by word of mouth, everybody was tensed up. Everybody was so saddened. In fact, I was not myself. So for 2 weeks running or so, I wasn't able to do anything. I was not able to do anything. We were just glued to the television set every day, morning, afternoon, and evening, watching the goings on all over the world. All the news that are being carried all over the place, deaths in America, in the UK, Italy, France, and so on and so forth. And then coming home, the rising numbers of the fatalities from the coronavirus disease, or what we know as COVID-19. So it is a period that the hearts of men are so disturbed, just like this guy said in his predictions. That's Nostradamus, in the book that he wrote in 1555, The Centuries, where he mentioned that the coronavirus will bring about deaths, that it will turn the twilight of men into dust, and that there will be so much anguish, and that it will lead to the destruction of the world economy as we have it today. So things are changing, really. Things are changing. The way we do everything that we do, the way we dress. People now have to use face masks. You must not touch your eyes. You must not touch your nose. And you must not touch your mouth. When you are on an outing, you have to apply sanitizer on your hands. And to make matters worse, wherever you get to, the officers there don't want to know whether you have washed your hands before or that you have applied sanitizer. In fact, in some places, you have to practically wash your hands with soap and water at the entrance of the office, and then afterwards apply sanitizer, even though you might have done it in the office from which you got to that place. Okay, so it's a very funny thing, the way the world is changing. Now, people have to change the way they do things. In fact, I don't remember when last I ate in a restaurant. And I don't even remember when last I bought snacks, even the ones that are packaged in nylon, sealed nylon, at the supermarket, because the fear is always there. It's a recurring fear, a recurring decimal, that that thing could be infected with the virus. So that fear is causing a lot of brouhaha, and it is changing the economies of many people, many businesses. Many businesses have gone under, and a lot of employees have been sacked from their jobs. In the United States now, that I'm very conversant with on the news media, there are over 32 million people that have been rendered unemployed as a result of this pandemic alone. So it is not a joke, really. And organizations are finding ways and means of lessening cost, of lessening stress, reducing the stress that the employees have to go through, and the fact that they want to avoid unnecessary debts. So that makes the issue of working from home more pronounced at this time in the history of our world. So after the 2 weeks, I came to myself and I looked at it. Can't I use my time very well? Can't I use my time profitably, so to say? Then I remembered that I have clothes that I haven't ironed, that have been stockpiled there for years. So I had to go and start ironing my clothes. I did that, and I found it very funny, very relaxing. Apart from the other programs that we watched on television to relax us, to take our minds away from the happenings all over the world, like the soap operas that my family watched on television. In fact, the Mexican novellas, they are very wonderful. Now, following that, I have been doing a lot at home. In fact, I've been doing a lot of trainings courtesy of the Lagos State government. We have been running a lot of trainings. So Microsoft is training us on how to work virtually with our students. I'm a teacher by profession. So Microsoft has been training us on how to teach our students, give them assignments, mark their assignments, how to interact with them virtually via the computer, which is part of the idea of a WFH. And some time ago, I told my students, I think about 5 months ago, when I was in class, that a time is coming that a teacher will not have to stand in front of them to teach them in classroom. Rather, they have to interact via the computer to receive their tutorials. So the issue of teaching and learning is also embracing WFH gradually, whereby teachers have to be teaching their students from the comfort of their homes. And during this pandemic, I know of a number of private schools that are doing that. I have a professional colleague of mine in the private sector that has been teaching her students from home, right from inside her bedroom. Can you imagine that? And she demonstrates to them via the computer, teaches them, she receives questions from them and answers their questions. So there is a lot to be gained from the idea of working from home. It relaxes you, and you can do your other chores, your home chores, at your convenience. You can do your work, and there's no limit to the time that you want to do your official work. All your activities can be done flexibly. You can be flexible. Work that you would have done during office hours in an office setting, you could delay till around 8 p.m. Maybe that is the time that is comfortable for you, convenient. So you can do it at your own convenience. The end result is to give feedback to your colleagues, your superiors, and that does it. So I believe that we can all embrace the idea of working from home for as far as it's convenient, as far as it is okay by your organization. I know of organizations now all over the world, world-class organizations, that are saying that their workers can work virtually from home, even forever. Twitter, for instance. Of recent, Twitter announced that so many of its workers can work from home virtually forever, in quote. Is that not wonderful? So the world is changing, and we have to change. Okay? The world is changing, and we have to change. So I will leave you with that for now. So at some other time, we can discuss this idea. Okay? My Instagram page is Arolutayo, so you can contact me on my Instagram page or my WhatsApp number 08023005803 to give me feedback, and we can engage and have fruitful exchanges regarding the idea of working from home. Have a good evening.